Welcome to the 360 Sports Network Road to the Final Four podcast series, where we're looking at every conference tournament out there as we make our way to filling that field of 68. We'll see who gets the automatic berth to the tournament, who are the at-large teams, and whose bubbles might just have burst. We must first get through the conference tournaments before we can fill out those brackets. I'm James Dotson. Tonight we want to look at the Summit League. Now, the Summit League tournament has an 8-team tournament format. It's one of the few that doesn't give a first-round bye to the top teams in the conference. And that means that the top 3 contenders will all have to go and win 3 games in a row for them to be able to go dancing. The one team from the Summit League not participating in the tournament will be Nebraska-Omaha, as they're in their first year in Division I, and they're undergoing a transition period. They went 11-20 this season, not too bad for their first year. So keep your eye on them for the future, but as for this year, there's really 3 contenders, and it's the top 3 seeds in the tournament. We'll start with number 3, the North Dakota State Bison. They went 12-4 in the conference, 22-8 overall, very solid. However, they lost both matchups against number 2 seed Western Illinois, and they split their season series with number 1 seed South Dakota State. The question that must be answered is how the Bison's top scorer will perform. 6'7" junior guard Taylor Braun, he missed 10 games in a row this season after breaking a bone in his right foot. During that time, the Bison went 5-5. 5 of their 8 losses came during that stretch. Braun returned for the final 2 games of the season. He was held scoreless in 18 minutes in a non-conference game against Utah Valley. But then in the season finale against Nebraska-Omaha, he put up 22 points in a blowout victory. Now, Braun has averaged 15 points per game this season, including shooting almost 50% from three-point range. This is a very young and deep team as a whole, with only 2 seniors on the roster, and those seniors only combine for about 3.5 points per game. So they do go 8 deep each game. They have 5 players who average 9 points per game or more. They're very balanced. However, they're going to need a good performance from Braun. Hopefully that season finale wasn't a fluke and his foot is alright and the team will be able to play alright with him. If he's healthy and if he performs, watch out for the Bison. Now, let's look at the number 2 seed here. The Western Illinois Leathernecks went 21-7 this season as a whole, 13-3 in conference, tied for the conference championship. Western Illinois is actually the only non-military school to use a military nickname. And honestly, they've run their 2012-2013 season with some military precision. Their balance of offense shows that everybody has a job to do, and they do it well. Terrell Parks leads the way with 12.7 points per game and another 9.5 rebounds per game. He's a double-double threat every time they go out there, and it's a big reason for the Leathernecks' success this year. They also have Ciola Clark. He runs the team from the point, averaging 12 points per game, another 4 assists per game, but he also shoots over 40% from three-point land. They are a part of a senior-laden squad, with 4 of the top 5 scorers on the team being seniors, the 5th one a junior. Now, the squad as a whole shoots 40% from downtown. That's unbelievable, and they've been consistent all year. 2 of their 3 conference losses came to the number 1 seed in the tournament, South Dakota State. Their other loss to number 4, Oakland. They're destined for an NCAA tournament trip. The way they play, their balance, and the way they can control a clock. However, we got to be cautious. They needed a Ciola Clark buzzer beater to beat their first-round opponent, South Dakota, the first time they played at the beginning of the year. And then they nearly blew a 7-point lead with just 40 seconds left when they played the second time, which was just a week ago. The Leathernecks won both times by 2 points. The games were very close. I expect another close matchup, and I might have to take the Coyotes in an upset, to be honest. So now, let's take a look at the number 1 seed, South Dakota State Jackrabbits. They went 22-9 this year, 13-3 in conference, tied for the conference championship. The Jackrabbits are all about a Wooden Award nominee, Nate Wolters. I warned you about him last year, and he nearly led a first-round upset of a 3 seed in the NCAA Tournament. Now, as a senior, he's only improved his game. He averages just shy of 23 points per game, while he dishes out 6 assists and brings down 6 rebounds per game. What impresses me most about him is how he helps his teammates. He's one of the best in the country at setting up his teammates, yet everybody looks at just how many points he puts on the board. And his teammates help him out by hitting key shots. They knock him down when they need to. Jordan Dykstra, Chad White, Tony Fagan, Braden Carlson, they all average 9 points per game or more as the support guys to Wolters. The team as a whole shoots 39% from three-point range. Wolters shoots 41%, Dykstra shoots 43%, White shoots 43%. Lights out shooting has powered the Jackrabbits' attack this year. 74 points per game. That's top 30 in the country. A defense cannot focus on Wolters because his teammates are going to make you pay. If you focus on him, he'll just dish it out, and that's all it will take. So I will take South Dakota beating Western Illinois in the first round, which makes this bracket a lot different. If Western Illinois could win, I think that they would be destined to go to the championship game and possibly win the whole conference. But I see them losing in a heartbreaker in the first round. They don't score enough. They've had too close of games against South Dakota. If they survive, maybe all the way. However, with their loss, I will say that the Jackrabbits will easily win the tournament and win the automatic bid. Wolters will have a big tournament, and by the time the NCAA tournament is over, I think everybody is going to know his name. Well, that's it for breaking down the Summit League Championship. Follow us on Twitter at 3S Network. Keep tabs on our website, 360sportsnetwork.com, as we break down the rest of the conference tournaments on the way to filling that field of 68. Thanks for tuning in to the Road to the Final Four special. I hope that I've made your bracket a little bit better, because we want to make them the best they can be.